All right, guys, we're back with the You Drop That podcast Moonlighting edition. This nice lighting in here. Looking quite good.
Or are we changing our office?
Yeah. We're changing locations. That's the whole gimmick.
It's a lot more relaxing.
Next week's Bahamas.
See if we can get there.
We'll get there.
So let's introduce our special guest, our dear friend Juan.
How's it going, man? Thank you for having me.
No problem. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, bring you on to talk shit.
Or have me talk shit.
Exactly.
That's the point, man.
So what are we getting into today, guys?
I want to talk about video games and
Jesus.
video game addiction.
Just come a little closer.
Let's start off with that.
Good topic.
But you got to be more specific. What do you mean by video game addiction?
All right, well, what do you think? What do you define as video game addiction?
Like how good a video game is or how it affects one's life?
How it affects one's life.
That's pretty much straightforward. Not too broad. But it's complicated, especially when you have a good game that you're trying to play, but at the same time, like, let's give an example for like a MMORPG. StarCraft, I think it is, or World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft. You have people that actually basically live in the basement, shuttered from like civilization, socialization, and everything, man. Just to play a video game day in, day out. Forget that they even are alive, as an example.
I think that's more of a introvert's world. They could be who they want without an actual person seeing them. They could be themselves and a way of socializing, expressing themselves, where, let's say, around people, they'll get stuck or so. They'll have a nervous tendency.
So like a way of being without having to deal with the fear of being judged.
Correct.
All doing some raids. But with games like World of Warcraft, that definitely does cater to a lot of stuff like that, where you can socialize with people, you can meet new people in a safe space without no judgment, especially with the fact that, you're not really seeing the person, not really seeing each other. So all that's there is the personality, your being, and then everything else comes afterwards. And it's funny because there's a lot of, I would say, like simulators like that. There's this game called Second Life. If you ever heard of it.
I've heard of it.
It's similar to The Sims, where like you create your avatar and you kind of just live your life in this digital world. And a lot of people get hooked on it. A lot of people care more about that life than their actual life.
This is actually my first time hearing about that.
Yeah, Google it. Second Life. There's like a whole documentary on it and everything. It's pretty interesting.
It's basically, it created the whole concept of VR.
It's pretty much PlayStation Home if PlayStation Home was successful.
Oh my god.
So it's pretty much similar to that.
Living a virtual life.
So I guess we're getting into like basically the pros and cons of video game addiction, right?
I guess you could say.
We'll start with the pros because
I guess the pros are easier.
Yeah.
Because
You could even say games have like a more sense of direction for certain people. I mean, there are those people that don't like to interact, so they'll dive into a video game world and they're trying to find something. When you start a level, first thing you get is a tutorial, what to do. That sense of direction, maybe that's what some people are looking for, where they can't find anywhere else in their real life.
Not only that, but let's just say they can't socialize with other people. They get able to socialize in the video game world, as in conversating with other gamers. That brings into effect basically not socializing physically, but in an alternate universe type of way.
And it's funny because a lot of this kind of goes into, say, like MMOs, MOBAs, and stuff like that. Like, that doesn't really derive into, I don't know, let's say, shooters?
I could say no, because that's how I met him first. before before actually physically meeting him, and before actually knowing who he was. We met playing Gears. Him, his cousin, and I think somebody else during the time. So we used to go in basically all night, just straight W's all the way for Gears, the first Gears. And I still remember it like it was yesterday. His cousin was there. He brought me in with him. So we was playing, and then he said, yo, I got 2 more people to come in. That's how I met him. We was playing. Then one day in his job, was working at the deli back then, came in, and then I was chatting it up or whatever the case is. He was letting me know his game tag. I'm like, wait, you're blah, blah, blah. And then at the moment, he's like, yeah, it's me. And so I'm like, yo, bro, I'm this. And he's like, oh, shit. We finally meet. I'm like, oh, shit, small world. But, yeah, you could say in shooters you meet people, too. Because it's basically, when you go online gaming, it's not only based on the MMOs to make a universe. It's whatever game you like, and then you just fall into it. You necessarily have to be an MMO.
It's not defined by a specific genre.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the difference between the genres would be, in MMOs, people are able to create a second life. No pun intended with that other game. Mm-hmm. But whereas in a shooter, you're not really creating a second life, so to speak, because you go in there and there's the objective. You go and you want to win matches. That's it. Whereas in MMOs, you go and you're creating you become like a blacksmith. Then from your blacksmith life, you become, I don't know, a mage or whatever. But you go into all these other like aspects, and you literally create this character that's basically what you would want to be in real life. You'd want to have a bunch of great attributes. But on either side, you can still have a bad addiction, like the people who don't want to get off the couch and they sit there, all they do is play Call of Duty or a Division or what's another shooter that people really play?
Halo back in the days.
Battlefield.
That's old.
Battlefield.
Stupid Fortnite.
Oh, Fortnite. People, they won't move. We have children getting hemorrhoids. Children.
That's true.
Young people suffering from hemorrhoids because all they do is sit on their asses all day.
Trying to be the best they can at building and shooting at the same time.
But I guess before getting into the bad, let's look at things like Evo, where Justin Wong helped on a few fighting games, helped in development. His addiction to those games led to him getting a job in the field.
Not only that, but they also bring sponsorships. So depending on the group of, let's just say games, say for instance, Fortnite, you have a variety of group of people becoming teams and having these big sponsorships just so they can be able to play. Hey, back in my days, the teachers used to say, playing video games won't get you nowhere. Look at now, 2020.
There's millionaires who just sit down and play video games.
All they do is stream or basically play just to get to tournaments to get the grand prize, and they're making M's, straight millions.
So I guess this kind of goes into how, if treated right, video games can lead into a successful profession.
Of course.
Because, at the same time, we all know this, that video games are not looked upon very lightly a lot of times. They're considered time wasters. They're considered children's hobbies and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of leads into the people who do kind of abuse it, who do kind of just spend all day with this form of entertainment, and they stay with it in a way where it's not really productive. Even though there's other people out there who want something professional out of it. There's also people who just, it's recreational. They play it every now and then just to kind of blow off some steam and then continue on. So I feel like, let's kind of dive into the darker side of it, the addictive side. And at the same time, how I feel maybe the gaming industry kind of knows this and uses this to make money.
They know it, they use it, but they never make light of it. I think that's the kind of bad part.
At the end of the day, it's a business. They want to make money. They want their company to flourish.
Definitely.
So what other way can they go about it?
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with wanting your company to grow. But I think it does have to be looked at, the amount of adults who can't socialize normally because they've spent their entire life online. just playing video games with other people. So like they're this big personality online, but when you put them in front of someone, they freeze up. They literally give their entire being to that virtual world. That's done in a sense that can stunt development, but I think that if you do it with that in mind, you can do both healthily. I think. Who am I?
Well, for most companies, like the darker side part of it, making money, that's why they introduce microtransaction. And they do piggyback on that for the simple fact that people spend money in there. Maybe $1 or $2, but just keep adding up all the microtransaction for a skin, or for some points to get a certain weapon, or for get a character, or to even progress in the game itself. You have to eventually pour extra money on top of the game itself. So it could be looked at a good way or a bad way, depending on how you misuse it. Because you also got, like, let's just say, for example, Pokemon Go. You have a certain amount of Pokemon you carry, but after that's filled up, you're going to erase. All right, after you erase, you get all the Pokemon you want into it. You can't catch anymore. Now you have to shop to get extra space for either items or your Pokemon storage itself.
It's funny, though, that you mentioned Pokemon Go, because a lot of this, the way gaming is now, started with mobile gaming and how mobile gaming's design was. Because mobile gaming's design was you get a game, the game could be for free, but in order to properly progress in the game, you have to call for like 99 cents, $1, and then continue from there. And
that's the addiction right there, because you just named it. But it all started basically with Subway Surfers, if you remember back in the days.
Subway Surfers, yeah.
So in order to get the coins, you got to keep ranking up by playing the game, whatever. The game is fun, it's addicting, but there comes a time where you got to really like put it aside and think: are you actually going to spend extra money for something that's free that all you have to do is keep playing every day, a certain amount of time, and then you'll eventually get it? Or you just want it right there on the spot so you can use it and do what? Just look at it for one time?
It thrives on people who are impatient. And at the same time, they purposely make games harder. It's kind of back when the arcade systems are around. In arcade systems, those games were purposely made a little bit harder so that way you keep putting quarters in. So you keep losing, keep wanting to try again. It's the same thing as it's digital now. So that's why a lot of these games, it's either they only give you like maybe 3 levels, or they make it extremely hard, and it's like, oh, you want to be a little bit, faster, stronger, whatever. Just call up some bucks. And in your mind, it's like, oh, it's fine. It's free anyway. What's wrong with like $3, $4? And then keep on with that. And then the bad part about it is that this type of stuff just kept going on, and then console gaming started seeing this too and figured, we can do that and get them to pay $60 for the game? Why not? So at the end of the day, realistically speaking, you get a game for $60. Then you get like the extra passes and the skins and all that stuff. You're technically spending like maybe $120 on a game now. The only difference is they're just chopping it up. But the whole full final product that they intended, you spend like $120, $130.
Yeah, it adds up.
The microtransactions thing actually gave me another thought. So, back in the day, when these people who just, they lived through their video games had to get up and go to the store and buy a game. Now they can just download the game. PC gamers, for the most part, have had that for a long time.
Yeah.
But console gamers didn't always have that. And with the introduction of downloadable games, digital games, they literally have no reason to go out and interact with anyone, at least in the real world.
All they have to do is just go out once to buy a system, a couple terabytes, got the space, they're good.
Yeah. And I think that like adds to the darker side of things when it comes to those individuals. Who doesn't want to every now and then just download a game? I don't have to go to the store. That's awesome. But
that part also is like a double-edged sword, because let's just say the game is new, right? 60 download, 60 for the new physical copy. And a couple down the line, a couple months, let's just say physically it goes down $20, but digitally it's still 60. Are you willing to still try to download the game for 60, or are you willing to go outside and sacrifice that anti-socialism just to get the game.
I think it depends. Like us, I'm sure we'd run out to get the physical.
We'll go out easy.
Well, it depends also because there's frequently more often sales for physical other than digitals.
True.
The physical is usually typically cheaper than the digital by a landslide.
That is true, but
people, like, it's been proven, convenience means a lot to people. Sometimes it means a lot more than money.
That is true. Mm-hmm. But in most cases, like, very so often when they do throw the digital sales, you gotta abuse it.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, today, Street Fighter 5. It was from 30 all the way to 20...
$22.49.
Look at that. That's convenience for me. Don't have to change the disc or anything, just remote play whenever you want.
Yeah.
But I think we got off a little bit. Let's try to, like, let's hit back onto, like, the
darker side.
The dark side, the damage that can be done.
I think the biggest damage from this that they don't like talking about, that, like, it irks me the most, is that, for example, like loot boxes and stuff like that happen in mobile games and now in actual games. People don't like to say this, but it's like, it's gambling. They've introduced gambling into gaming. Like, I'll play Overwatch and you get points and stuff and get a loot box, but the loot box is randomized. You don't know if you're going to get that gold skin, that sticker or voice line, and you keep doing it over and over and over, and eventually after a while it's like, oh, let me pay like $10 for like 5 loot boxes. And then you go and you don't get what you want, and you try again. I'm sorry, but what's the difference between that and then pulling a slot machine? It's the same thing. It's gambling. And games like AFK Arena, Raid Shadow Legends, all these types of like mobile games too thrive on that as well. Where you have like Rona, you have all your army members and stuff. And like, like teammates and stuff, and then just like, there's C rank, B rank, A rank, S rank, double S rank, and stuff like that. And you want those people in your team, but it's like you have to constantly keep doing like the daily missions and stuff like that, the daily quest, and eventually after a while it gets harder and harder, and it's like, sure, let me just spend some money for a higher chance of getting like those S rank characters. Still gambling. And there's so many people nowadays that are doing this, young people doing this, and there's been so many people trying to stop certain mobile games from doing this because, dude, you're encouraging children to gamble, which is illegal.
Yes.
People are willing to empty out their bank accounts for this sometimes.
Yeah. We've all seen these fucking articles with these kids spending like thousands of dollars on Fortnite for skins. And I'm sorry, whatever, but I feel like when it comes to skins, the useless thing in the world is to buy a skin for a first-person shooter.
Dude, I watched my nephew spend $100 PlayStation store card on V-Bucks. That's what they're called, right?
Yeah, V-Bucks.
He finished it in like, I don't know, the hour he put it in. I'm like, what'd you buy? Oh, this skin and this gun thing. I'm like, do they do anything? They look cool.
I'm gonna be honest. Like my brother got my son some V-Bucks for his birthday, whatever the case was, and he was quickly ready to spend it on. I'm like, no. I grabbed all the cards and I'm like, we'll spend them little by little. You got to stretch them out. You feel me? Because even though they're V-Bucks, you can spend them like that.
Wow, that was loud.
That was a good snap.
Thank you. Even though you can spend it very quickly, you have to learn how to manage it. So
of course, yeah.
I'm trying to teach him that you don't go all out in the game. You don't head on full blast throttle through the game. Mm-hmm. Take it easy, Eventually some other things may come up that you may want. Or they might throw a sale on like a skin for the gun or for a skin for the little character. Which he has eventually picked up that sense, and he plays. So he's very, I won't say skillful, but he plays very good at the game. Mm-hmm. But I'm trying to teach him not to go down that road where you just misspend everything you have on just this one thing. So that's not the way to go.
Yep. You
got to teach him from an early age not to go down that dark path, to become antisocial, to misuse his money, especially on microtransactions.
Because if you're misusing your money at that age now, imagine when you get older.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to teach him. Because if you let them be themselves completely on something they do not have control of, these companies are going to eat these kids alive later on in life. And video games are quickly to be an addiction towards anybody, that especially when you have fun with it. And you have more people playing with it, even worse. Because they encourage you to misspend this money or to basically attack the microtransactions so you're able to pick it up. So say, for instance, he has a skin that I want, but I can't get it unless I pay money. Or you have the skin from previous, but I still got to pay extra money just to get it. So why do I have to waste my time to try to build up that little bar just to get the skin where I could just pay for it right now?
It's like you mentioned, like if those items don't give you any special attribute to boost you up, where you go in and you get like a one-shot kill because the weapon you bought has that function integrated. It's no point. You could win the game without looking good.
But the thing is, that's also frowned upon greatly in the game community. Pay to win. Like paying money to get like a buff, stronger weapon, stuff, that's always frowned upon. Any games that start doing like stuff that's pay to win, they take it out.
The downfall of gems.
Yeah, Street Fighter Cross Tekken. They have those things where you pay for gems, it changes all the attributes of your character. It's pay to win. A lot of people, they don't like that shit.
It was like, what was the point of me buying a bunch of gems to, customize my character when I couldn't use it in the tournament?
Exactly.
Not good.
That's why that only works in certain games, though. Because in MMOs, it's like a perfect match for that type of foundation. Pay to win.
See, but
like a shooter, you can't really.
The problem with MMOs, that the only thing I really hate about MMOs is that some of them you still have to pay monthly subscriptions.
Yeah. Just
to keep going by.
I mean, when you have millions of people in a server, you got to maintain that server.
That's true. You do got to pay for it.
But you got to pay for the people maintaining the server, so on and so forth. It's a whole chain.
Yeah.
So it's understandable, at least when it comes to MMOs, at least.
But you have a great big audience for MMOs, especially when it's PC-wise. You could grab it on the go like a laptop. You could play it anywhere you want. But it becomes a strong addiction, especially with MMOs, because you're always trying to build that character up every single day.
Not even just that, just the sheer fact that you're paying a subscription. You have to make your money's worth. It's like Netflix. I pay for Netflix, might as well use it. And you'll find stuff to watch. It's the same thing with like World of Warcraft. If I'm paying this monthly subscription, I have to make use of it. That's one of the things why I've never gotten Final Fantasy
14.
I want to get it, but it's like I know I'm eventually put it down. I can't be on this every day. I can't.
It's like, what, $15 a month, right?
Yeah, $50 a month, but it's like I know I'm not going to be on every day like that.
It looks so cool, though. I know.
It does.
It does look cool.
It looks
I
so
played
cool.
it a little bit, but
I wanted to play when it was like free for like 2 days or something. But I was like, I don't want to.
I was saying I can't.
Free trials, baby. You got to abuse them.
But a lot of people are doing this now in the gaming community, where these developers are making these games that are like that, with these microtransactions, pay to win, stuff like that. And it's weird though, because it wasn't like that before. There was always like this little fad. Remember the fad where every game had to have an online multiplayer? Even like Uncharted.
I was thinking that same game and Last of Us.
Yeah, Last of Us, Uncharted.
Metal Gear Solid Online.
Yeah, Metal Gear Online. Everyone had to have an online. And then they make you pay for like subscription for some of them and stuff like that.
For the PlayStation though, it was before the PlayStation Plus came about. It was free online.
Yeah.
Which was actually cool because not like Xbox, you said you had to pay $40 a year or something
to
like
watch
that.
Netflix.
Yeah, to watch Netflix and stuff like that.
Because Xbox owns Netflix apparently.
Apparently they own everything now. So basically you get to play online without paying. And then Xbox introduced the only way you could play online is by paying, which came down to what he said. You had to pay people to maintain the servers, which is actually cool. But PlayStation Online, since not that many people were on it, it was actually fun to play. Very addicting since it was free, and most of the games that you love were online. So you get to grab some of your boys and just play online. But it wasn't as satisfying as Call of Duty on the Xbox. But the downfall to that was always being on it every single day. It became basically like a 9 to 5 for some people.
It became a way of life.
Yeah, man.
Became a full-time job.
It did. And we used to play it to I used to come out of school directly to my house. Everybody used to come to my house. Everybody used to leave by like 2:30 in the morning. Mind you, we were just teenagers, 14, 15, 16 years old. It's like, well, are we really going down this path?
As you mentioned Call of Duty, do you think as the world see games that a shooter was a bad influence for you?
Oh, you're going into video games causing violence. That's what you're going into,
yes.
right?
In my way of thinking, no, because that's just a video game. I know that if I shoot somebody outside with a AK or with a M16, I know they ain't coming back. Compared to a video game where you could shoot him a couple of times, he dies, he responds, and we'll continue the game. But technically, it depends on the person's psychology there.
Mental state.
Yeah.
The way I see it is asking if video games cause violence is the same thing as saying do westerns cause violence.
Or do any like action movies like that cause violence? Personally, I don't believe that they cause violence. They're not even designed in a way to give you any really good ideas.
That's true.
If you're violent, you're violent.
Exactly.
Game had nothing to do with it.
That's it. Because you're just pointing and shooting. That's it.
Like, how could Call of Duty give you like a game plan on how to go and shoot something up? It just, in my opinion, it doesn't really give you that. It doesn't even teach you how to shoot a gun. You're just hitting a button.
That's it.
You play a bunch of stealth action like Metal Gear. What did it? It's not going to teach you how to choke somebody out for real.
It's not going to work.
It's not going to teach you how to
poke somebody,
or beat someone up,
or nothing,
or hang off of a boat forever,
or chainsaw somebody like in Gears. It doesn't.
First, got to find a chainsaw at that point.
Yeah,
so I don't think gaming be a stepping stone for violence at all. It's just a way of distracting your mind.
You can't say video games cause violence because there's been violent forms of media even before gaming. Cartoons, movies, horror movies.
We grew up on some of the most violent cartoons. Looney Tunes?
Oh, they were very violent.
They were freaking killing each other.
The Coyote, I was using TNTs to blow up the canyons on the side just to get the Roadrunner. That was nothing more violent than that.
If anything, that gives me an idea. If I'm going to use TNT on someone, I'm going to use a lot more than he used.
Of course.
Because that didn't work.
Man, at the end of the day, there's nothing more that shows more violence on TV than the news.
That's true.
That's true.
The news shows, and the crazy thing about it is that it's real. It happened. Any form of violence that they show actually happened.
Not like in the case of a video game,
yeah,
it's just replicating probably a certain point in history or something, like Call of Duty. It just shows like a certain part of history, or they just make up a new fantasy world where you ask two groups there and just shoot each other. It's just a game.
Yeah.
Yo.
It's only a game. Why do you have to be mad?
Imagine all of those people, the introverts, the people who were just super antisocial, and that antisocial way of being was just, it grew because of, them just being in their MMO world. What if that's what led to LARPing?
I think LARPing's been around before.
I mean, so like big LARPing though. Come on, dude. The ideas that they get,
You're just making me seem like they're at home like, wait a minute, I want to do this for real.
Yeah. I used to want to do that.
2 damage.
Imagine. That would be funny, but no.
But think about that. That's definitely a realm where they can exist the same way they exist in their MMOs. So how about this? How about maybe it didn't lead to that, but maybe a lot of people from that world ended up in the LARPing world. The real gaming world.
The real gaming world. That's if they're willing to actually get up.
So you're just making it seem like this is Ready Player One movie style.
But now they got to put in an effort. Now they got to get all the equipment, the currency they're using.
But I think the main thing for them is being whoever or whatever they want to be without judgment, and that's a world where that's possible.
That is true. But that's why they always have like these little getaways where they have a cosplay party where they could be who they want to be from their games.
I don't want to go like too off subject, but like you think they have like LARP orgies?
They probably do.
Probably do.
I think that's the whole reason why LARPing started. It's a cover for the orgies.
What?
That's what I think.
That's the same thing I think.
There's no way you're spending an entire 4-day weekend and not see this big ass booth chick on a bikini and some weird fetish.
I'm just picturing, where's Jordan? He hasn't been here in like 4 days. He went LARPing. Oh. Oh. Okay.
Secret exposed.
But yeah, it's like a lot of the good side of gaming comes from the communities that you can build and create and be a part of in them.
Not the 10-year-old beating you and telling you suck and calling you a noob. But continue.
I mean, he's only been in this world for like 10 years.
Yeah.
It don't matter.
Knows nothing.
But I would say back in the days, the games were much more fun. No microtransaction. Your friends used to come over.
I just like playing a game and beating a game and just going on with life. Like just watching a very extended, nice movie. And this, you beat it, you're done. Oh, that's good. And I'm sorry, but trophies are shit.
Trophies and achievements are
I
shit.
don't
Thank
like
you.
trophies and achievements.
Yeah, we don't care how many platinums you get.
He knows who he is.
I'm gonna be honest though, for some of these games, the story sucks, man. You go back into the old games from PlayStation 1 and 2, Xbox, Nintendo, Sega Genesis, like those games you want to go back to, retro style, and play just the way you first played them, and they're actually fun.
The thing, go ahead.
Having your friends come over to basically after school, few hours playing Mortal Kombat, or X-Men vs. Street Fighter, or Marvel vs. Capcom 1 and 2.
The famous LAN party with the pizza rolls.
I want pizza rolls.
Same here, man.
That's the reason that these days I only buy games if we're all buying the game.
Yeah.
Because I'm playing it with the people I know. I don't want to go online and talk, like shoot the shit with a bunch of strangers. I don't want to do that.
And
Like,
that
why
goes.
bother if you have people here?
Exactly. So like that's why when we're playing like Street Fighter, Tekken, Power Rangers, what's the other one?
Oh, Guilty Gear.
Guilty Gear. You see, I get super into it because I'm playing with you guys.
You won't have that same energy if it's online.
Or if I'm playing a single player game, I'm playing it for me, not to play with people online.
Oh, you have that little 10-year-old calling you a noob.
Yeah, telling you to shut the fuck up and all that. And you're just like, hey, fuck you. And then the parent gets on, and it's like, well, then that escalated.
But that escalated go down south quickly, man. But I'm in the same page. Like, you rather play with your friends. Like, not with extra strangers and all this gibberish comes out of, over some little thing from a video game.
Then they rage quit.
And it has taken away that aspect. The whole, hey, guys, come over. We're going to play some video games.
And then most part, it's like, oh, yeah, let's do this. But yeah, everyone's in their own house.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're just playing online. Like, we're having everyone just coming together.
Ordering a
And
pizza.
Playing together.
Those were the days.
It
We
died
used to
when
play
they...
Coors Light, play Monster Hunter, Adam's house.
Oh, man, dude.
The-
We played hours. But anyways, say what you were going to say.
It died when they killed the split screen.
No.
Mm.
It died when 360 and PlayStation 3 came out online.
Yeah, once they started implementing online, there's no need for split screens.
Gears of War came out. Everybody get their own system. Go home. Stop playing. Call your boys to stop playing. That's about it.
It's all about the money. It's like, oh, why bother with having one guy buy the system and they all play in the same house if we can get all four guys to buy their own system and their own copy of the game? And that's what ended up happening.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yo, there's a perfect example of the dark side of video games.
Yeah.
The episode of South Park. That Love Not Warcraft or whatever it's called.
Oh, yeah.
The fat guy in the basement. You know this guy?
Didn't they have like an episode where they would like, World of Warcraft completely and they were
Yeah.
all for them?
That's the episode.
That's the one.
Okay, that's the same episode.
They were training to beat that guy because the guy kept killing them. He'd come in, dance, and they killed him.
And then they all became fat and were eating uncomfortably like that.
And Cartman was like, Mom, bathroom.
Yeah, take a shit in the bucket.
Like, what is this? It was funny though.
It was a
It
good
was
episode.
a funny episode. But yeah, it has its pros and cons. We try to always look at it in the pro way because we grew up a certain way. And basically, we weren't addicted to every single game. We played for hours, but we learned how to put it down. And like he said earlier before, like, play the game, beat it, and move on.
Basically, in other words, reality hit.
Yeah, man.
Because the thing is, the games weren't designed to be addictive back then. Games are designed to be addictive.
They were like a stress reliever, a time passer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But now it's like they're designed in a way where it's like you get your quick dopamine fix, and then you want another, then you want another, then you want another. Then the games are becoming harder or crazy, or your rank goes up, then your rank goes down if you're not playing the game, and all these crazy things.
For the leaderboards.
Yeah. That's the thing now, leaderboards. Everything's a
And
fucking leaderboard.
we've seen how like a drop in the leaderboards can lead to depression.
Mm-hmm.
People like lose their shit.
Yeah.
Because they feel like all that work they've done is like gone.
And then instead of investing 2 hours, now you're investing 4 hours to get that score back up to the way it was, or even better, or chasing after the top player. You know, no matter if you chase a top player, there's always going to be somebody better, regardless of who's the best one in the world. There's always somebody out there better than this one, and there's going to be somebody better than that one.
Man, leaderboards treat shit like credit scores. You work all this time for like 2 points of credit. You miss half a payment, it goes down like 15 points of credit.
That's true.
That's how they treat it. Like, I was playing Tekken the other day, and I was doing the treasure battles, and I'm going up in rank, and I'm getting like 160 points when I won a battle.
You lose?
Over 300. For losing one match, my rank went back down.
It's the same thing with MOBAs.
Mm-hmm. You lose more than you gain. So don't fucking lose. But it's like, shit. Now I have to go back up again. And in order to go back up, they only give me like 80 points. So I have to win more matches to go back to where I was.
That brings down to investment.
Mm-hmm.
You see? Because in order to catch up to the way you were, you instead of investing 1 hour or 2, now you're investing 4 to 5.
Yep.
And that's what they want you to keep playing the games, to keep more addicted.
If you're more addicted, just add a little money into it, and that's how they get a consistent flow of cash.
Microtransaction. Instead of paying 70 for the game, you pay 80, 100, 120. When it comes down the line, down the year, let's just say you've been playing the game for the whole 365 days a year, you just spend probably a whole down payment for a house or something. Who knows?
Man, I miss the days when you used to play a game and there were secrets in the game that you can unlock from playing the game again. Like, I missed where there was fighters where you had like your roster of like 10 fighters, but there was a secret 5 characters that you could unlock depending on what character you beat arcade mode with. And then you get that character. And then you play that unlocked character and you beat their arcade mode. Or, like, you'll play a game, and then if you play it again on a harder difficulty, you get like a special gun. And then you play it again on an even harder difficulty with that new weapon that you got, and you kind of progress from there. Like, I miss that. Now it's like, oh, you want it? Buy it. Want a new character for this fighter? Buy it. You want that special costume? Buy it. Like, can I just play the game on a harder difficulty and unlock it? I feel more satisfied when I do that.
That brings down to Metal Gear, when you used to like had to meet certain criteria throughout the whole game to get probably the wig or the bandana or the special gun, special box. You know, the stealth mode, you had to be at a certain level.
My favorite thing was Metal Gear Solid 4. In order to get the Altair outfit from Assassin's Creed, you had to play the entire game, and you had to knife kill a certain amount of enemies from start to finish. If you do that, you play the game again, you get to look like Assassin's Creed.
I did not know that.
Metal Gear Solid 4.
I did not know that.
Yep.
Now I'm going to definitely plug it.
That shit was good. It was amazing.
Wasn't there one that you played the entire game in stealth mode in Metal Gear Solid?
There was one I played in stealth mode. There was one where I had to be crouched for a certain amount of miles. So you're crouching in the game. There's another one where I have to like wall crawl for a certain amount of time. Like, there's always like these fun little things to do, and then you get rewards for it when you play the game again.
That's why I love Metal Gear, man.
But nowadays it's like, you want it, you gotta buy it.
It was like built-in trophies that did something for you.
Exactly.
Metal Gear Solid 3, if you kill everybody, I used to hate this. I did not know. My first run, I killed everybody. I was like, I don't care. So there's a part where you fight
The Sorrow.
The Sorrow. So you walk down the River of Sorrow. For every person you killed, you're going to be seeing everybody you killed walk down past you.
All their ghosts.
And the more you kill, the longer the River of Sorrow will become.
Yep.
So the next time I went around, instead of killing people, I just put everybody to sleep. So it'll be, instead of a 30-minute walk, it'll be a 5-minute walk.
Yeah, it's like a 5-minute walk because you tranquilized everyone. Speaking of Metal Gear Solid 3, there was that other thing where you get something different depending on if you killed the bosses or tranquilized them. If you tranquilize them, you get their special camo, which has special attributes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you play the game once, all right, it's fine. It's like, oh, let me play it again, but let me just not kill the bosses. And then you get their suits.
And I think Hideo Kojima did that on purpose. Like, let them run the game by killing people. See what happens.
Yep. The best one I love was if you tranquilize Volgin, you get his camo, which is a Soviet flag. So anywhere you go, any enemy you find, they can't shoot you because you're wearing a Soviet flag. So they'll salute you, or they'll just shake, like nervous because they don't want to shoot you because you're wearing their flag.
Which one is it that you have to get the dog tags? Is it 3?
2. 2 is the dog tags.
2, yeah. I used to make them like point the gun at them, and if you point to the head, they do the shimmy shake, and the little dog tag just pops out, which is fun. Because I think for a certain amount of dog tags, and depending on the level you got them, you get, like, for the first part will be Snake. So you'll get either his stealth or the bandana. And then for Raiden, the same way.
Yeah, he got his own things, too. Because I know, like, Snake would get the bandana, which is infinite ammo.
For Raiden would be the wig.
Oh, yep. I'm telling you, like, there's always just, like, fun little things to do in the game that makes you want to replay the game. No extra money. I mean, you already paid for the fucking game. But nowadays, it's not like that anymore. Which is leading into addiction, which is leading to all this anti-socialism, which is leading to just people just not functioning properly in life, and does further bring this negative view on video games.
I have to ask, like, is that the correct term, anti-socialism? Because I have no idea.
I don't think so.
You're anti-social.
Yeah. Is it anti-social disorder?
I mean, there is that.
Just being antisocial. That's it. We don't know the right way to say it in that way.
Yeah,
just in case.
The terminology is not there, but who cares right now?
But yeah, so, like, it's just all this crazy shit going on with gaming. And it's just going to keep on and keep on. And it's weird because we have that one part of it going one way. And then we got the other part where esports is on the crazy rise. You know, people who play video games really good are being considered, like, you know, video game athletes. Stars, you know, like look at Ninja and all this shit.
I'll be honest, I don't even know why he's sponsored.
I don't know either. Like, honestly, I don't know. Ninja's not cool. I don't fucking like Ninja. His hair sucks. But
Jesus Christ,
it does. It sucks. I don't fucking like it.
I don't know what it looks like.
It's fucking blue. He always dyes his hair blue, and it's all weird looking. He has the bandana on and shit. Like, it's so, like, 2018. He has, like, this cheesy 2018.
It's basically like from Yu Yu Hakusho, the dude with the orange hair.
The pompadour?
Yeah, it's almost like that, but it's just spiked up.
And blue.
It sounds kind of gay.
The only reason why he even got the way he did is because everybody kept watching him stream for Fortnite.
No, because he streamed with Drake, that's it.
And that too.
No one cared about him till he streamed with Drake.
Yeah, when Drake and then I think 2 more people with Drake that same night, it was like an NFL star and another... somebody else was with him, he blew up.
And then after that, you never heard them play that game again.
That's true.
Yeah, but yeah, Ninja blew up. He got all this cash, all this money. And then we got all these other people. Like, we got people who are famous playing League of Legends and Fortnite and all these other things. So,
let's talk about Counter-Strike then.
Oh, yeah.
That game is out for ages, man.
Mm-hmm.
Good and bad. Awesome game to play online, but it's not.
I liked watching it. I didn't play it. I just like watching people play.
I picked it up one time and
got smoked.
Bad. Every time I turn the corner, pop. I was like, nah, not for me.
The pacing on that
You
game.
didn't invest your time enough.
The thing was that I wasn't good with the keyboard, so everything, no matter how hard you try, is you're not good with the keyboard, you're not good at the game.
You still didn't invest enough time.
No, I didn't. Shame on me.
No, don't listen to him. He spends like freaking 48 hours on freaking League.
Yelling.
And screaming.
You should hear him scream, though.
Well, I've heard
He yells things that you wouldn't even think that he would yell. Like, fuck, shit, dick. What?
Bro, the first time I actually heard him yell, I'm like, who are you cursing? I thought he was on the phone or something. When I looked, playing League.
My man screams, suck 10 cocks one.
I was like, what the fuck is happening?
He's playing League and all I hear is just, suck 10 cocks. I'm like, 10? Specifically 10.
You have like fucking, you suddenly have Tourette's? Out of
The
nowhere.
thing is, these excitement blurs come out when either you get a grand kill, you know, this enemy has been feeding the entire team, and all of a sudden you're the one who actually destroys them. You get excited and you scream.
I thought you were dying every time you screamed.
Or the other side where you have a one-on-one battle, all of a sudden he kills you, but he lives with that 0.5 HP. That bullshit. It should have been a draw.
But it's still funny to hear him screaming.
Did you hear the passion though? That's bullshit.
It's bullshit. No.
You should hear him though. It'd be the most random moment where, like, you could hear a pin drop, and the first thing he does, what the fuck?
It's crazy.
It'd be so like spontaneous. You look at it like,
you alright? Someone steal your money?
but I think it's now past it progressing over to other things, because I haven't seen him play League in a while, and he's still screaming.
Oh no, now he's playing Paladins.
Oh, okay.
So
I keep telling him, why are you playing bootleg Overwatch? Just play Overwatch.
Nah, I can't watch.
I mean, you have to get all the others to play Overwatch.
Who are you playing with? Who's playing Paladins with you? Who told you to play Paladins?
who else told him to play Paladins? Javi.
It was free.
He keeps saying that, like, I don't care if it's free. You get what you pay for. Garbage.
It looks kind of fun. I haven't
Because
downloaded
it copied off of Overwatch. Everything it did, it took from Overwatch.
Of course, it's a
But
bootleg
it's free.
Overwatch. It's free.
Y'all peoples. I can't. Now you haven't played that.
Yeah.
Y'all people, man.
Well, if there's microtransaction,
Yes.
Of course.
how much? A lot or little?
It's just like Fortnite. If you want all the skins for all the characters, there's like at least 5 different skins for each character. You have to pay.
Once you paid all that, that's it. It's over.
Yeah.
So you look at that. It's not like Overwatch, a free game. You pay for the skins, and then that's it. You pay for the developer.
But it's like how he mentioned earlier.
Are there chests or loot boxes or something?
Yes.
Pretty sure there you go.
But
the
the whole concept is playing with friends. That's the only reason I'm playing Paladin.
You got dragged into it because Javi needed a third person to play with him.
Yeah, playing with friends.
But yeah, he doesn't want to play Street Fighter with us. That's crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
That is crazy.
I mean, who else? I mean, I don't want to talk about what I do at work, but
Well, getting smoked in Street Fighter and playing shooters is 2 different things. You know this for a fact.
But it's still playing with friends.
Always. As long as you're playing with friends, you can never go wrong.
Exactly. How much time we got?
50.
All right, so let's start wrapping up. Anyways, before we close up, this episode definitely evolved into something other than what we said. So it was basically our thoughts on video game addiction, the good and bad. Also, our thoughts on the state of video games today.
It's a large subject. It's
It
something
is.
we're going to have to kind of jump back into eventually sometime in the future.
It was definitely a fun conversation, you know.
It was.
And once again, thank Juan for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Don't play Last of Us 2, though.
Yeah, to the very end of time, we will let everyone know that game is blasphemous.
When you thought 2020 couldn't get any worse,
Oh, yeah.
they released The Last of Us 2.
And this shit is bad.
Very bad. Stop playing Paladins, please. You know better.
I'll try.
All right,
All right.
let's do this.
Let's do this. This is You Drop That. Please don't play Paladins.
And play with friends, always.
Hope you enjoy, guys. Peace.
Peace.